easily apply the statistics on your big data. That is this course outcome of the subject. The content of this unit is need of statistics and data science and big data analytics, measure of central tendency. The fundamental part we covered in the number one, that is what is mean, median, mode, mid-range. In this unit, we will actually see how this particular terms that we can use for the calculating the mean, median, mode for missing values. So data cleaning will perform through the statistical methods. So basic central tendency is used in many applications, but which is a very basic thing that we have to apply on the data. Then measure of dispersion. In the measure of dispersion, we have to find out range of the certain values, variance, mean deviation, standard deviation, Bayes theorem, and the need of hypothesis. Sometimes we have to find out true, false, true positive, true negative, on the basis of certain hypothesis on the data. And then we have to test that hypothesis, whether that hypothesis is uh, correct or incorrect. That also we have to see in our data set. Then two important tests we will perform on the data set. One is chi-square test and another is t-test. Both tests are used to satisfy the uh, data cleaning. Either it is a small scale data or a large scale data. So basic thing, and the unit number two is to apply the statistics on the data set. And once we complete this unit, you have to create one employee data set, apply the central tendency term on that, and find out certain measure of dispersion on the data. That is the whole scenario of this unit. Okay. So hope it is clear that what are the basic things are there in unit number two. Now we'll see the learning outcome of this unit. So this is visible to all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So total 7 lectures are there in this unit. Out of that, we'll use all classroom teaching. I think 6 lectures are there and one case study. Okay, a part is missing. So one case study we will discuss in the number two. These are the references that you can use to learn this unit number two. Now, Bloom's taxonomy level, which level we are going to achieve. So every level will give some idea about this particular topic under that unit, like a knowledge, understand, apply, analysis, and evaluation. So we are not going to create any application under this unit, but we'll evaluate. Once we apply the statistical method on the data, then we can evaluate that statistical method on the given data set. So only we discuss the outcome. These are the content of the unit 2. Need of ये तो हो गया हमने देखा फाइन. सो ये मैं आपके साथ बाद में शेयर करूँगा. फाइन. So this is all about unit number 2 data set that data that we have to discuss. Now we'll start the actual discussion on one by one topic. So need of the statistics and the data science and big data analytics. So what is the need of statistics on the data science that we need to understand, and then we'll see further how we can use that statistics on the data set. So basically, suppose we have a data set. Let's say we have an iris data set. Close. So ये सबको I think visible होगा ही. So as we discuss this sample data set in unit number 1, which need to be considered for the data extraction. So in the data frame, we extract the data and we observe whether any null value is there. What is the minimum value? What is the maximum value in the data set? So basic fundamental of the data set that we are discussing. Now to apply the statistical term on this data set, that is the part of unit 2. So how we are going to apply the statistics on the data. So basically, when you apply the statistics on any data set file or any data, that time you need to observe the data. So by looking at this file, can we categorize this species by looking at the data, like iris setosa, then iris versicolor, and then iris virginica? So three different categories of the species are there, but which is a character type of a data. So we need to either convert this data into numerical format, then and then classify. This character kind of a data we cannot classify. Or if I add one more value here, let's say boolean term, let's say I just add the value s, 50% yes and 50% no. Certain values are yes and certain no's are there. So this is also a character kind of a data. So this data we cannot apply on the statistical method. Can we use the character data in a formula? कर सकते क्या हम character data? Yes or no? Can we use the character kind of a data to apply on any formula? आप लोगों ने जो भी
No, sir.
मैथमेटिक्स, we
No,
cannot,
sir.
yes, we cannot apply any character kind of a data in the formula. Suppose I want to find out the number of occurrences of this s, then it is difficult by using statistical formula. We can analyze that value with other, that is a numerical value. So if it is s, we can replace with 1. If it is no, we can replace with a 0. So that now it is very easy for me to do the analysis of the data. So two type of data is there. One is character kind of a data and other is numerical type of a data. So what we need to do, we need to convert our data set into numerical values so that we can apply the statistics method on the particular data set. There might be a possibility और एक data set जो हमने देखा था वो भी एक बार देखेंगे. Let's say ये अच्छा. Now you can see this is quite a large file which we need to operate. So when we operate this file with this huge amount of data, it consists of many character kind of information. So we cannot operate this information. Also, we cannot delete this data. What we need to do, we need to add a column or we need to add attribute one more. After this column, we can after this attribute we can add an attribute which will convert this value into numeric value. We can convert this value into numeric value. So that analysis is very simple. And those values are don't have any data inside it, that data we cannot operate and we cannot replace. अगर उसके अंदर कोई डेटा ही नहीं है तो हम उसको रिप्लेस कैसे करेंगे? We cannot find out mean, median, mode. So this particular attribute, it means it is not used for the analysis purpose. So what we need to do, we need to either simply remove that attribute from the data set because we cannot generate a fake data inside it. That we need to understand first. So this is the basic thing under the statistics. Hope it is clear that why we need to convert this numerical data, why we need to convert the character data into numerical data. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
हाँ. तो पहला पार्ट तो सबको क्लियर हो गया कि हमें वहाँ पे कैरेक्टर डेटा क्यों पुट करना है, कैरेक्टर डेटा क्यों रिमूव करना है. ये होने के बाद फिर हम सोचेंगे कि व्हाई इट इज नीड ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिक्स ऑन द डेटा सेट. इसको स्टैटिस्टिक्स की जरूरत क्यों है? Many missing values are there, many error are there. To remove that missing values, to remove that error, to remove the missing values, to remove the typo errors, we have to use the statistics. To do the analysis of a data, we require statistics. यहाँ पे हम एक example लेंगे. Let it be, I just write some classification algorithms. Algorithm. इसके मैं कुछ नाम लिखता हूँ. Let's say decision tree होगा, let's say KNN होगा, let's say SVM होगा, let's say NN होगा, neural network. Every algorithm have a certain accuracy. Every algorithm have a certain accuracy. So accuracy होगा, precision होगा, उसका recall ratio होगा. These are the terms that we need to calculate. ये आपको बाद में समझेगा ये क्या terms है. Don't concentrate on the term. Just what I want to say, that is the importance of this bit. 98, let's say 95. कुछ value मैं उसके साथ insert करूँगा. 89, let it be 74, 92, certain random values. Huh? We don't have any meaning of that value. Just type copy paste again this value as it is. So I want to find out the insights of this data, or I want to display this data in terms of graphical format. Two things are there. Either I want to find out the insights of the data, or either I want to find out some visualization of this data. So just now I want to display this data in terms of graphical representation. I use a sample charts. Either I can use this chart or pie chart. Suppose I select this chart. I want to use this like this. Now this particular graph is get display that information. These are the name of algorithms, and these are the values of accuracy, precision, and recall F1 score, different values. Then I can compare the decision tree accuracy, k9 accuracy, SVM accuracy, and neural network accuracy. So differently I can check the accuracy of the algorithm. Is it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So it means that कौन सा better understanding के लिए statistical sorry numerical data या फिर graph.
Graph.
Graphs
Graph.
are very good. Graph is very easy to understand. तो हमने उसके लिए कोई फॉर्मूला लिखा है यहाँ पे.
No, sir.
So if you are not write any formula for that, still we get a graph. But now we have to write the formulas and then generate this graph. Now what I'll do, ये मैं इसको डिलीट कर देता हूँ. Try to understand why this is statistics are required. तो फिर मैं यहाँ से एक वैल्यू को रिमूव कर देता हूँ और यहाँ से इसको रिमूव कर देता हूँ. And then I'll again form a graph. Again I just now see what will happen. Whatever the values are missing under the data, that particular chart is not showing that information because it is a zero. It will consider as a zero and it will not plot the particular area. So that stack is empty. So this is the which value is precision value is not there. So in the precision value, just a minute. Two different points, the value is not there. One is the precision value, one is recall ratio. So that values is not there. So we cannot compare all the four different classification algorithm with respect to precision ratio and recall ratio because one value is missing. So what I'll do, I just adjust the value mean, median, mode. That also not suitable way. अगर फिर मैं यहाँ इसको यहाँ से डिलीट करता हूँ, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड ना, इसको यहाँ से डिलीट करता हूँ और फिर यहाँ पे इसका एवरेज ले लेता हूँ इज इक्वल टू सम ऑफ दिस टू नंबर्स divided with total number of records. So now I'll get a value. Hello. What?
Yes, sir.
Break. Yes, sir. Okay. So I just replace the average value in the algorithm without any calculation. But if I put the average value in the algorithm, classification algorithm, then what will happen? This may be correct or may not be correct. Because this is algorithm, this is not a data set. So I just substitute the average value. Same thing I can put substitute find out the average and I'll put a value 81. Suppose it will be there. So this is incorrect method now. Is it? Because this is the algorithm accuracy. And if I'm applying the central tendency on this data, then statistics is not a correct. So every time we cannot use a central tendency as a statistics that I want to share with you. That is, in every way, everywhere we cannot use a simple technique because this is the classification of machine learning algorithms and where we cannot directly put a value. Every algorithm accuracy is depend on the parameter they are using. So if the values are missing, we cannot replace it with the central tendency and we cannot apply the simple statistics. So at that time we have to perform complex thing that is measure of dispersion on this algorithm, or we have to perform the chi-square test or t-test on this data. So whenever the application is different, we have to use a different technique to replace the data. That's why statistics is needed in the data science. That is the one major reason to use the statistics in our data science. So hope it is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ओके, so अभी और एक ऑब्जर्वेशन यहाँ पे हम डिस्कस करेंगे और फिर अंदर जाएंगे. अभी everything is there, every value is there. Okay, so I just select again this and I draw the graph. I just find this pie chart to display the information. So now this is an individual. Your decision tree will display the data. What about others? If I use some like this, it will just sorry, then it will display the data in terms of values. 21%, 25. It will calculate in terms of 100% and display the data. Whether the graph is correct or incorrect.
Incorrect because all data is not visible.
यस, तो पहले हमने देखा कि हम ग्राफ ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, अगर मिसिंग डेटा है तो उसको हम कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते. फिर हमने यहाँ पे सेंट्रल सिंपल सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी से उसको रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकते. तो ये हमने ऑब्जर्वेशन लिया था पहले. ये हम देख रहे हैं कि टाइप ऑफ ग्राफ for every data you cannot use every graph. That I want to submit that for every type of data we cannot use every type of graph. Like यहाँ पे हमने अगर पाई चार्ट यूज किया है, so it is not a good technique to use a पाई चार्ट. अभी मैं इसको रिमूव करके, ये तो इनकरेक्ट है, ये तो अभी अटेंडेंस इन द चार्ट विंडो. आई लास्ट द पाथर कर्सर टू कंटिन्यू द लेक्चर. So don't leave the session, just put your attendance in the chat window and then we'll continue in the next session. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
So,